Yes, it's finally here. The final piece that I needed for my top-down setup is here. This is the FeelWorld F5 Pro V4. It's a 6-inch screen, Full HD 16:10 with 450 nits, and all these pro features come at $169 price tag, and it's too good to be true. It's really impressive. So let's crack it open and let's talk about all the features with this top-down set. So let's go. So this is the updated version of the F6 Plus, but it has Pro in the name, and this was the thing that impressed me the most. That for $169, and I want you to remember this price for all the video, because it's insane that such a cheap and affordable film monitor has all these pro features that only more expensive monitor have. And I'm not talking only about all the false color, the focus peaking, but this system with Sony f9700 external power batteries can power up external accessories with another power outlet. For example, you can power up an LED light, which is very useful if you are using probably a gimbal or you are shooting handheld. It's really cool to have a moving light that moves with the camera and can create some really nice effect. But if you are more pro, you can also use a wireless transmitter system that can be powered up as well. But is this a feature for a $170? Let's talk about the screen. I've always used 7-inch screen because I thought that smaller screen were too small, but I must admit that 6 inches is not that different. Of course, we have 16:10 aspect ratio. We have a 1920x1152 pixel count, which is really good. We have a 450 nit brightness that can be adjusted with a touchscreen shortcuts, because this screen is also touch screen, and in the studio environment this is perfect. Being smaller, it's also lighter, and combining with the possibility to attach a LED light, which by the way is not included in the box, you have to buy it separately. It's really great for handheld style of shooting videos. It only weighs 245 grams, so it's pretty light. There is only one complaint about this monitor, which is that it doesn't support 4K 60 on the screen. So basically, if you are recording 4K 60 for handheld and then using slow motion in post to slow down the footage and make it more clean, more stable, well, this monitor won't work for you. But in my opinion, talking about the price and what you get, basically you get all the features that I have in my NDCine C7, which cost more than $50 more. And of course it's 1 inch smaller, but it's not that big of a deal, and I really think that this is tremendous value, and I can give up the 4K 60. Of course, if you are shooting only handheld, well, probably this is not the perfect monitor for you, but I think that in a studio environment this is really perfect. And for the price difference, I am really willing to sacrifice the no 4K 60 support. Okay, so as you can see, this is my monitor that I use for all the A-roll, the B-roll, and the top-down shot. So it's standing here on a monitor arm, and I can adjust the position according to my eyes. And as you can see, it's upside down, and one of the best feature, which is that you can flip the image in order to see it's horizontally correct. Now, I am powering this with this Sony battery, but the really nice thing is that I can power it via USB-C, so I just can use an outlet in the studio. Okay, so now I am removing the battery. Pretty beefy if you want a long life. Then we are powering it through USB-C, so the setup is pretty light. As you can see, there are two HDMI cables here. The first is this one black, is coming from the camera, so it delivers the 4K signal, and the other HDMI cable goes on the ceiling and goes towards that, which is my reference monitor. So this feature is really handy, which is basically HDMI pass-through. What do I do when I shoot a video? Well, I try to use all the features that this monitor can offer to make my footage look really nice. Let's adjust the monitor. So first of all, as you can see, here we have an exposimeter, so I can check what I'm recording, shadows, all the highlights. And this is very important because in my editing program, the Final Cut Pro, I have also this graph, so I can use the same graph to adjust exposition before. So basically what I can do is to take this remote which controls the light, and for example I can lower them, and as you can see the graph goes down, or I can power up them and it goes up. Now here on the left also I can show up the audio level so that I can monitor them. On the bottom part you have many buttons that can be customized, so if you don't want to go all in the menus, you can just customize them. Another really cool feature is that you can choose all the grids that you can use, and then you have all the menus that you can customize. You also have the LUT. I can convert these, for example, S-Log3 to S709, so as you can see now it's not washed out anymore, but on the other monitor it is still washed out because it doesn't record all this, it's just a preview. Here I have also an anamorphic mode, color, temperature, backlight. You have all the same shortcuts as always for backlight, so this is at 100%, double tap to open menus, and this is $170, and I really want to remember you that. The last feature that I really like is zoom. So if I do that, I just can zoom to see if the focus is accurate. Oh yes, I was also forgetting the false color, which is very handy. False color, here we go. Okay, so this is, in my opinion, the most pro feature that you can have. Basically, it creates a map of the image you are recording, and according to the exposure level, each area is mapped and colored in a different color. And I can see the overexposed areas. So if I reduce the lighting with the camera, as you can see, it's changing. If I lift up the light, it will go. With the camera setting we can go not overexposed, but we can change the exposure and nail it perfectly. So to finish this video, this is really an interesting product, a pro, not only the name but with many pro features, and I think that the price is the best feature of them all, because you get all this pro stuff that maybe you don't need it now, but you will of course need it in the future if you upgrade your gear. And getting it for just $179, it's really mind-blowing. Totally advised monitor, and I think that if you don't shoot handheld and if you don't shoot a lot of 4K 60, the trade-off of renouncing to 4K 60 for all these many features that you get for that price, it's tremendous value. For example, now I'm recording the A-roll, so I just can turn the monitor and now I can see myself. Yes, the exposure is perfect, my skin tone is perfect. Maybe I want a little less light to nail perfectly the exposure. Now I can switch to focus, and I can see the audio level, so the microphone is recording and I'm perfectly fine. So I think this wraps up for today. Let me know what you guys think about this product. Check also my other videos of Field Monitor. And if you like this video, be sure to like and subscribe. And as always, stay tuned on Shades of Tech and subscribe for this top-down set video. Ciao!